turn on my headlights. So anyway, that is a great feeling, having that fixed. It's great. I mean, I've missed driving my car for a whole week. I mean, I did a couple of days to work and back, but literally as close to being under 2,000 RPMs as possible. And I do have my seatbelt on. That thing only seems to act up when it's cold. It's really weird. But anyway, so obviously the lifter has released and all is well, or all is the way it was before. So I'll let you know exactly what I did. I actually had to drive the store. I'm taking the long way around. So what ended up happening is about 9-10 days ago, I was driving home from a long trip up north, and I was pretty much in DOD the entire way. I mean, it was all highway. So I had the cruise control set at 74, 75. And, well, anyway, when I got off the highway and started cruising some more, I just felt that there was something going on. But of course, I had the defroster on, so I couldn't hear what was going on with the motor or anything, and I just kept on driving. Well, it was bothering me, so I turned off the heater, and that's when I could hear the tick, 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 tick really loud. And I was going probably about 25, so it could have started before I even got off the highway. It could have actually started when it popped out of DOD and when I ended up getting off the highway. I mean, I don't know for sure when it started. But anyways, so of course got home, and the loud tick of a stuck lifter. This isn't just a cold start kind of, you can hear him a little bit chattering and then it goes away. This was a very loud, very pronounced sound, metal to metal sound. So of course I thought the worst. Well, getting the YouTube video up, you know, I was able to get some advice and so on, but there was a guy, I mean, I had already talked to my dad about it, and he had suggested to put in some ATF fluid in the motor oil, which I had a good idea that that's what I was going to do anyway, but that was his suggestion. So I put in a half quart of ATF fluid and let it sit at idle for, I don't know, probably an hour, and of course it didn't change anything, but that's fine. I didn't really expect it to fix it. So it ended up sitting parked for about 3 days, and then I got a hold of a buddy from that I knew from Facebook. I actually found him on YouTube, but anyway, he had suggested the the lifter cleaner and the sea foam, so I did that. Then I did an oil change. Again, it's still parked, and then I drive it back and forth to work. No change. So there was an engine mechanic way out by my in-laws, actually their neighbor, and the engine mechanic had suggested that I bring it out there and he could take a look at it. And he had this stethoscope thing, and he was poking around the motor and he was listening for it. And this guy's an engine builder, so he was really getting into the nitty-gritty of it. And he was unplugging cylinders. He had a Solus, so he was deactivating and activating DOD, and he was doing all sorts of different things. It was just fascinating. I really wish that I could have got some video of him, but I didn't want him to make him feel uncomfortable or anything. But so he ended up obviously figuring it out that it was the number 4 cylinder, which I had pretty much already knew based on what the computer was saying. But he knew by the sound that it was a stuck lifter, and he was really listening close, and he was saying that if it was a collapsed lifter, then he would hear more pronounced and more unique sounds. So it was definitely a stuck lifter. So he ended up pouring in this concoction of crap, whatever it was, that he had in an unmarked bottle. And from there, we just ended up driving it around. Well, the problem went away. As amazing as that sounds, it went away. And I was, I had the Solus in my hand. Anyway, I'm gonna run inside real quick and before I lose my train of thought. So I had the Solus in my hand, and I was watching the injector pulse and watching the misfire, and he had me watching a whole bunch of different stuff, and it was just like, it was kind of cool to be able to see all this information here. And then he pulled it over to the side of the road, we shut it off, we let it sit for about 5 minutes, turned it back on, it was still there. As soon as he puts it in drive, bam, it was gone completely. The sound was gone, and everything was working fine. And the Solus was saying that, you know, the cylinder was firing just fine and so on. It was a pretty amazing feeling. So anyways, that ended up fixing it. Whatever he poured in the motor, I don't know. For all I know, it could have been just another half quart of oil. But so then obviously it was fixed, and that's just spectacular news, obviously. So I got to do an oil change. I set the trip for 500 miles, so I got to do an oil change in 500 miles, and all should be good. And as I said before, I'm going back to, and this is actually his suggestion. You know, you can debate whether you want. I mean, I was on the other side of this debate too, but I'm just going to stick with the AC Delco oil filters, and the ones that are actually meant for this motor, and go back to the 530 oil. I mean, 020 works great in the summertime, but for that little bit of what you think is a performance boost, really isn't. And when I started the car up this morning, I mean, it's cold outside, I always get a little bit of lifter tick. I mean, it's just that little tick, 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 tick. I always get a little bit of lifter tick every morning without fail, and I didn't get any of that this time around. So I don't know if something was gumming it up and this was just an eventual problem or what, but it doesn't matter because it's fixed now, and I'm happy to be able to drive my car again, I'll tell you what. So anyway, I'm gonna run in. We had Valentine's Day yesterday. We didn't get any groceries or anything. I was too happy to stop at the store. It was nice being able to cruise at 82 on the highway and not worry about the motor blowing up on me. So, all right, guys, I'll continue with part 2 here pretty quick. So anyway, the car's fixed for now, but someday I'm definitely going to, sooner than later, I am definitely going to get rid of all that DOD crap. But I'm not going to just tune it out. I'll actually physically get rid of it, because it was a DOD cylinder that locked up, and it's pretty common that happens. So I'm just going to have to really watch my oil level, things like that, make sure that everything's nice and tight, and really just make sure that everything's good. We'll just watch it closer, and this would be a good tip for anybody else out there. The LS4, you know, it's just need to make sure that your oil's clean and full and all is well. But oh, that sound, I love that sound. I mean, it was so loud. I'll post, I did some videos driving my car when it was bad, and I'll get some of those videos up so you can hear what it sounds like when you're driving. I mean, it's bad, it's embarrassing, you know. It was just, I had to get gas yesterday after my car was looked at, and I kept thinking to myself, you know, I'm going to be pulling into the gas station. There's going to be a lot of people there because it's Sunday, and everybody's going to hear this loud clang and think, man, that guy doesn't take care of his cars and things. You know, it was just that's a, I know I shouldn't give a shit what anybody thinks, but it's like, man, this is depressing. So it's pretty nice to actually have it fixed. But anyway, now that that's done, I can continue on with the channel without any hesitation. Believe me, it rolled through my head several times what I was going to do if I had to give up my car or sell it or whatever. And you know, things can still go wrong. I'm not saying that everything is all free and clear, but it is nice to finally have this problem taken care of. And now I can go back to normal videos. I just have to really watch oil consumption and whatever else. I mean, that's if it wasn't the number 4 cylinder, I would have said that then it would have been start for oil. When if it was the number 2, then I would have said, yeah, when I was making a hard left or something, it got start for oil. When it was the number 4, not quite in the middle, but close to it. So I don't know, and it wasn't under a hard braking or anything else like that. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I can talk about it all day long. Anyway, the problem's fixed. So hopefully, if any of you have this, I should probably slow down. Deer like to come through here. If any of you have a similar problem, just do what I did. Get yourself some of that rise loan or whatever engine additive that you can add to the crankcase that will help free up any gum that's in there. And then the seafoam, I added that a little bit later, then did the oil change, then more ATF fluid. ATF was actually the first thing that I did, but I'll get some more videos up so you can see my last week of depression. So alright guys, well, I head on inside, so take care, and thanks everybody for your tips and advice. It really helped out. So we'll catch you later.